Sweet dog and sweet nothings. I love you, baby. And call on the phone, you know I'll be running all day. God damn, you know how to love me. Sweet darling, come on down, yes. Don't you hear me, baby? I just want you for myself. I just want you for myself. Slow dance with me, give me love. Slow dance with me, give me love. Slow dance with me, give me love. Won't you slow dance with me, give me love. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're listening to is actually a live rendition of Somali Rose.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. How are you feeling? I mean, how are you feeling in your home right now, listening to this soothing voice? We call it Sinner Soul. I nearly, you see, Ria Boss is the name. Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. This is it's interesting to have you in here. But before we go on, and have our conversation, I want to remind our listeners that this is what we do right here on Showbiz A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
There are some talents that are doing amazing, that are fantastic on the scenes of Ghana. But the sad thing is that a lot of people don't, necessarily get to hear them.
Yeah.
Now, on Showbiz A to Z, this is where we unveil such talents. We bring them right to your doorstep and let you know that, hey, we have amazing people in here,
thank
in Ghana. And an example is the voice that you just heard, Ria Boss.
Yes,
Ria,
yes.
you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Kofi, for having me.
You and I, we go way back.
We have some stories.
We have some fun. maybe some of the time we'll tell them. But it's interesting,
Our origin stories, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But how are you doing?
I'm amazing. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, blessed, feeling very happy after releasing my album. So I feel good.
Right. I mean, I'm sure this is something you were looking forward to, and officially it's here. So I mean, and this is not a common genre in Ghana. So what are some of the challenges that you've had walking this particular path?
What I would like to say is that now I don't have as much of a challenge as I used to when I first moved back. I've been back in Ghana since 2017. I was living in the States. And when I moved back, I think the challenges were that obviously neo soul music, R&B music is not necessarily the mainstream genre of music here.
Right.
Now, this is not to say that Ghanaians don't listen to that type of music, but it goes to say that the music that Ghanaians make here that becomes more mainstream tends to be in the Afrobeats hip life category. And so I did run into issues where people would say, well, Charlie, if you started doing some small Afrobeats, then maybe you can break and then you can do your music. But I think I've never wanted to compromise on my sound and my style. And I think because I've been very consistent and I've just pushed and pushed and pushed, but also I think I've also made good friends in this music industry community-wise that also help uplift me.
Right.
I think my consistency and my live performances is what has allowed me to say that by now more people are aware, but I think from this album, the world will know.
Right. I actually believe that. So how long have you been around? I mean, how long have you been back from the US?
Okay, so I've been back from the US for about 2017, about 4 years, 4 or 5 years now.
5 years.
But I was away. I left Ghana in 2008. I left Ghana in 2008. And then, something called me. I was living in LA when I was moving back, but I spent most of my time when I was in the States living in New York. But something actually called me to come back to Ghana. It was more so, I call it spirits, but something told me, come home. And I think I'm fortunate to have done that because I got to spend the last few years of my grandmother's life with her. And this album is actually heavily inspired by that loss that I felt and also heavily inspired by my love of my grandmother. Everything happens for a reason, I guess.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
Yeah.
Wow. So what are some of the, I should say, who are some of the artists that you've been working with and how have they impacted your sound?
Okay, so in terms of artists I've worked with, so this is actually the first time a lot of my kittens, I call them my fans, my kittens, a lot of them say that, wow, you never really do any features and stuff like that. But on this album, I've got Tania, who's a Cameroonian artist, but she's based here in Ghana. And then Kojo Q, as well as Joey B.
Yeah, right.
And now Joey B is someone who I've actually done backing vocals for him on some of his projects before. His more recent Lava Fields EP, I did backing vocals on his song with Mensa, Far Away. And so Joey is always somebody that has been like a cheerleader for me, and not like a silent cheerleader either.
A very
he's
loud
somebody
one,
that any chance he gets, he'll actually uplift me. The same thing with artists like Ifya, you know, Sina Soul, Adoma. Sina Soul and Adoma actually, Poetry Center, where we were all part of something called Black Girls Glow.
Were you surprised when I said Sina Soul?
That happens because we're like two soulful kittens,
right,
you know?
Right.
And so, you know, these are people that are consistently uplift. Kiddy is another person that really shows me a lot of love.
Right.
And so I think because so many artists that, let's say, Ghanaians hold so dear, also hold me dear, I think that gives other people even more confidence. And so I think that's probably why you're hearing more Ria Boss now. But you get ready because you might get tired.
That's pretty amazing. So remember, it's the new projects that you're out with, and I wouldn't ask what inspired it, because I know, you know, a lot of it was inspired by your grandmother. Tell me about her.
My grandmother, lovely woman, should have been 90 years old now.
Wow.
She raised me with my mother. So sometimes my mother hates it when I say this, but my mother sometimes seems more like my sister than my mother, because I think my grandmother took care of both of us. My mother was a single mom for a very long time. And so my grandmother represented almost both mother and father, because she was also still helping to mother my mother as well, while she was taking care of me. Grandma was an extremely pivotal point in my life. I used to go with her to choir practice, sit with her while she's doing her choir at Accra Red Church, and she was the reason I did piano lessons. She's actually probably the reason both my mother and my grandmother are the reasons I sing, but I think more so when I would see my grandmother in the choir, I'm like, okay, this is something I can definitely do.
And did your mom also sing?
My mom was actually in a band growing up. She was the lead singer and the lead guitar player of a band called Woman 7, and they were actually going to go on tour. They were booked, but my grandfather at the time told my mom that this was not what he envisioned for her life. And I think that, honestly, if my grandpa hadn't done that and my mom had gone on tour, I don't know if I'll be here. But what I will say is it did give my mom the ability to allow me to pursue my dreams, because I know that being, you know, like a young Ghanaian woman, not all parents would want you to, you know, sort of like go into this profession. But my mother has always been like an avid supporter of my dreams, and I think most is because she's an artist deep down as well.
Right.
And so she just wants me to be able to live my best life, which is, if this is what you want to do, then you do it. So the same thing was for my grandmother. Even though for a while my grandmother was like, why are you not singing gospel music?
Something that people
is something she can get behind.
Right.
But I think before she passed, she came to a few of my shows and she realized what it was I was doing, and she was proud. And so that for me means that this album has come out at maybe the opportune time for me, because I get to show everyone kind of the work of the women in my life. Like this is what being raised by two phenomenal women, this is what comes out of it. So,
right. So we listened to Somali Rose, and then I know you have another one, Damn. How many songs do we have on the new project?
On the album we have 11 songs total.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're all which genre?
They're all neo soul, funk. And a lot of blues. Okay. Yeah.
So if someone is listening to us right now and they want to identify what kind of genre you're doing, it's neo soul.
Neo soul, like soul music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 11 songs on the album.
Yeah. Correct.
How are they doing so far? I know you've released 2 or just 1?
No, we released so actually April 22nd we released Somali Rose. That was the single, and then April 29th, which was actually almost a week ago.
Yeah, a week ago.
We dropped the full album. And from the time I released it to now, I mean, it has been. I think I don't think I know how to.
You weren't ready for it.
But I think I hadn't released music for 2 years, and so I think, you know, my fans were rightfully ready. But all the songs are doing so well. It's like everybody has a favorite. But I think when you listen to the album, you'll notice that we sequenced it from song 1 to song 11. So if you listen, you actually will hear it with transitions between all the songs. And so when you listen, it kind of takes you on the journey from 1 to 11. So you might not actually realize that you're halfway through the album when you are.
Oh, right.
So yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. I'd want us to, listen to Damn, and then
that features Tania.
Okay, great. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a conversation with Ria Boss. She has a new album out, calls it Remember, and here's Damn off that album.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to Catmo World. We are introducing the one, It's Showbiz A to Z.
Maria Boss. You feel me?
Say, buckle up, baby. I'm about to take you for a ride. Don't you know? Get I'ma keep you satisfied. What's about the altar? In the waters, that's alright. I don't bite. Say, goddamn, she's so fly. Goddamn, she my dog. She goddamn with the goddess life. She everything you realize. Say, goddamn, she's so fly. Say, goddamn, she my dog. Say, goddamn with the goddess life. She everything you realize. Buckle up, baby, I'm about to take you for a ride. Don't you know? Gap, I'ma keep you satisfied. Worship at the altar, dip all in the waters, that's alright. I don't bite.
Yeah. I said, sis, what waist? Them hips and baby, that face. You dip, I dip, and we play. Okay, okay. Is it sis? What waist? Them hips and baby, that face. You dip, I dip, and we play. Okay. Say, goddamn, she's so fly. Goddamn, she my type. Say, goddamn, with the goddess life. She everything you realize. Say, goddamn, she so fly. Goddamn, she my type. Say, goddamn, with the goddess life. She everything you right. I say, goddamn, she so fly. Goddamn, she my type. Goddamn, with the goddess life. She everything you right. Say, goddamn, she so fly. Goddamn, she my type. Say, goddamn, with the goddess life. She everything you right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well. Goddamn, she's so fly. She's a goddess. She's a queen. And that's an amazing voice. You're listening to sounds from Rhea Boss. Calls this one damn off the new album. Remember, it's the title of that album. Charlie, how can people go ahead to cop Remember?
Listen, so pretty much Remember is on all streaming services. We've made it so easy for you. Anywhere you listen to music, you find Remember the album. And you can also follow me on all my social media, so you can keep up with everything I'm doing. And on my social media, it's the Rhea Boss, THERIABOSS on all social media platforms. Yeah.
Before you go, what is next for Rhea Boss? What do you envision in the next few years?
Honestly, the reason I've made a live album is because I love live performance, and so the whole point is to be able to tour the album as long and as possible as I can.
Right.
And so for me, it's pretty much seeing me performing at all your favorite festivals. But I tell you that my music director Nikwe has already started asking me about album 2 and if I'm writing. So trust
Nikwe, relax for us.
Yeah,
relax.
I'm relaxing.
Hey, let's sit this
I'm trying
one.
to do that Made in Lagos thing. You know, you have to let it stretch.
You know.
But I will be performing a lot more, in Accra and also abroad. So look out for those things.
Oh,
as well.
wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
But for me, it's just mainly I want to perform everywhere. So if you're listening to me right now and you like me, book us. We will come, especially for weddings, because apparently I sing very well for couples.
I mean, I can imagine what it's gonna be like. But hey, thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you so much
to
for
Rhea
having
Boss.
me.
I wish you the very, very best.
Thank
I know
you,
you've been doing
thank you.
amazing, since you
you.
touched base in Ghana, and I strongly believe that there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna pop for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a conversation with Rhea Boss, and she said a lot. If you're a fan of neo soul, music, then you should really check out her new one, which is also a neo soul funk kind of album, and she calls it Remember. You can get it on all streaming platforms, and just use the hashtag Rhea Boss Remember, Rhea Boss Remember, and then you just keep the conversation going. Thank you so much. Okay, so we'll be